Hello everyone, I am Pratibha, Assistant Professor of Sociology from Government First Grade College, Siddhartha Layout, Mysore. Today's presentation is on the topics Components of Population, Introduction and Importance, and also on the fertility, meaning and factors influencing fertility. The session outcomes would be students will be able to know the importance of the components of population. The factors influencing fertility can be understood in a better manner. These are the contents of the slides. Components of population. Birth, death, and migration are the important components of population. The family, caste, religion, tradition, standard of living are the factors that affect the components of population. Now let's see the importance of the components of population. For a society to progress, the components of population such as birth, death, and migration serve as the supporting pillars. Birth rate or crude birth rate is an authentic and extensively used technique to measure fertility. By calculating CBR, a society's fertility rate can be known and the role of fertility in the population growth can be measured. The following formula is used to calculate crude birth rate. CBR is equal to B by P into K. B is the total number of live births during the year. P is the total population in the middle of that year, and K stands for 1000. From data gained about birth rate, the government can effectively implement family welfare programs. It's also useful to create awareness amongst the people and to control the growth of population. From the data on birth rate, the government can gauge the future growth of the population and also what would be the future requirements of the people, and necessary arrangements can be made to meet the requirements of the people. Death rate or crude death rate. The widely used method to measure mortality is crude death rate. CDR indicates the number of deaths occurring during a given year per 1000 population estimated at mid-year. The following formula is used to calculate crude death rate. CDR is equal to D by P into K. D is the total number of deaths registered during a calendar year. P is the total population in the middle of that year, and K stands for 1000. From mortality as a component of population, one can even know IMR, that is infant mortality rate and maternal mortality rate. As you all know that infants are those who are less than 1 year of age. Children at that tender age lose their lives because of various reasons such as because of environmental factors, negligence on the part of the mothers, or lack of timely treatment at the time of emergency. And maternal mortality also results due to malnutrition, anemia, and negligence on the part of the women towards their health, or even due to lack of timely treatment and medical services. It will be helpful for a country to know the life expectancy of males and females, causes of mortality, and to take up appropriate measures to reduce the incidence of mortality. So there are various reasons for people to lose lives very early in their age, mainly because of lack of medical facilities or due to outbreak of epidemic diseases, poverty, negligence on the part of people towards their health may result in an increased mortality rate. So a country can take up measures to effectively reduce the mortality rates. Migration. This is also a component of population. Migration is the movement of people across regions and territories. Migration can be internal and international. Um, Internal migration means the migration which occurs within the country, and international migration is which occurs between the countries. The migration plays an important role in changing the composition and distribution of population. The statistical data on the number of immigrants and immigrants of a country can be known. That means to say how many people have moved into our country and how many people have moved out of the country can be known. It is useful to know the causes for migration. As you all know that there are various reasons for migration. Uh, they are especially for amongst rural people. The reasons for the migration would be in search of jobs or for better education for their children, and also for better facilities. Rural people may migrate towards cities, and urbanites they may move to different countries in search of better lifestyle or for better job opportunities. The information on migration is helpful for the government to take necessary measures to solve the problems of migrants. Those people who migrate, they may face various problems like adjustment problem. Uh, they may not find suitable place to live in. They may have moved out of their native in search of better job opportunities. That may also uh, not uh, be mm, available to them in the new place where they have moved in. Now let's see the meaning of fertility. The total number of children a woman gives birth during her lifetime is called fertility. Childbearing years, the reproductive age span of women assumed for statistical purposes is 15 to 49 years of age. A country's fertility rate will be fluctuating due to the factors such as social, political, religious, and economic conditions. Now let's see the definitions. According to David Lewis and Thompson, the rate of reproducing offspring in a lifetime of a female is called fertility. According to Berkeley, the reproduction level of a female is determined on the basis of number of live children one produces. Fecundity. Fecundity is the physiological capacity of women to bear children. According to Warren Thompson and David Lewis, it is a biological factor of a woman having physical fitness to take part in the process of reproduction. Now let's see factors influencing fertility. There are various factors influencing fertility. They are biological factors, physiological factors, social and cultural factors, direct factors that influence fertility. There are other factors also. Biological factors which influence fertility are: fertility is a biological process. Heredity, age, health, puberty, menopause, reproductive span, etc. are the factors that influence fertility. The fertility duration of females may not be the same, and it varies from one female to another and from one society to another society. In India, the childbearing age of a woman is between 15 to 49 years. The capacity of a woman to bear children usually is higher up to 35 years, and gradually it starts decreasing till she reaches her menopausal stage. The age at which women marries, adoption of family planning measures, religious, social factors also influence on fertility of a woman. That means to say, if a woman marries at a later age, the number of children she may give birth to would be less. And if she adopts family planning measures, that may also definitely influence on a fertility rate. Some of the religions may not encourage its members to adopt family planning measures. Hence, that also affects the fertility. Social factors mm, also influence on fertility of a women. Now let's see the physiological factors. Adolescent sterility, postpartum sterility, and interval between successive births, primary and secondary sterility. That means to say after uh, the birth of a child, for a first child, they may not have, couples may not have a second child. Sometimes couple may not have children all through their life. Then due to reproductive wastage, these are physiological factors that affect on fertility. Now let's see social and cultural factors. Age at marriage, polygyny, that is plurality of wives, then separation and divorce, widowhood, postpartum abstinence, celibacy, frequency of coitus. These are some of the indirect factors that affect on fertility. Now let's see the direct factors which influence fertility. Adopting family planning measures, tubectomy, vasectomy, abortions, female infanticide. These also affect on fertility. Other factors which influence on fertility are food supply, urbanization, economic condition, the role of religion, family system. Um, Especially we come across joint families in rural areas. There are joint families in urban areas also, but they are less in number. Whereas in rural areas, um, where we come across agriculture as the major occupation, we come across joint families more in number. And Karta, who is considered as the head of the family, of a patriarchal family, he'll be looking after the requirements of the people. That means all the members' necessities, their requirements will be met by head of the family. Hence, in joint families, there are chances of um, more number of uh, children to be born where they may not feel the burden of looking after them. In the occupation also influences on fertility. Then status of women. Women who are educated, they may plan effectively their families. The number of children she may give birth to would be effectively planned by a woman who is educated. Then desire to maintain status is also one of the factors. So we have come across various factors that influence on fertility. Now these are the references made for the preparation of the slides. These are the websites referred, and if you have listened to the lecture, it will be easier for you to answer this multiple choice questions. What is fertility? The answer is the total number of children a woman gives birth during her lifetime is called fertility. What is CBR? The answer is crude birth rate. What is the formula to calculate crude death rate? Answer is CDR is equal to D by P into K. What is emigration? Migration of people outside one's country. What is IMR? Answer is infant mortality rate. Thank you.